Hey guys, it's Alice here. I am a doula, a childbirth educator, and I'm going to spin the wheel and see what topic we're going to talk about today. Let's do it. Okay, this is a big one. We are talking about dilation. So, dilation is a word that we hear about all the time when we talk about labor, how we're progressing in labor, and it's all about the cervix. So we did talk about another change to the cervix, and that is the thinning, which is the effacement, and it's a video here that I'll put a link down below. Okay, so the cervix is the bottom of the uterus. The uterus is a big muscle, the cervix is at the bottom. It's where our outlet of the cervix is, our exit of the cervix. And when we are pregnant, before we go into labor, our cervix is closed, it's thick, and it's also positioned towards our back. It is set up totally to keep infection out, to keep the baby in, to be as a safe of an environment for the baby as our body can. And so what happens is the cervix has to make a big change in order to get the baby, to allow the baby to come out. So two of the big things that it needs to do is open, which is dilation, and thin, which is effacement. So our cervix has to open in order for the baby to come out. Now, the opening of the cervix is called dilation, and it is measured, or it's measured in centimeters. And so at 0 centimeters would be no dilation at all, so as closed as can be, and 10 centimeters would be full dilation. So 10 centimeters is going to be we're totally dilated, and that's our goal in labor, that we get 10 centimeters dilated. Now, you might be wondering, how do they know exactly how many centimeters dilated you are? Well, it's done through a vaginal exam. We've put more into that topic in this video, linked down below. So it's done through a manual exam where your provider puts their fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger into your vagina, and basically goes like this to try to find the edges of your cervix to see how open it is. So it's not an exact science, but providers get good at estimating exactly how dilated you are by how much cervix they can feel, how much the baby's head they can feel. Now, your dilation also can show you which phase of labor you're in that first phase. In the first stage of labor, there's different phases. There's early labor, active labor, and transition. So if we want to talk about dilation as it matches those, early labor is our 0 dilated, 0 centimeters, all the way until we hit 6 centimeters dilated. And this has changed. If you are watching this and maybe you had a baby years ago, it's been a while, or maybe you're reading old pregnancy books, old books about labor and birth, you might see 4 centimeters is the beginning of active labor, but that has been changed by the American College of OBGYNs, ACOG, and early labor is now defined as 0 centimeters to 6 centimeters dilated, your cervix open. Then from 6 to 8 is what we call active labor, and then from 8 to 10 is the phase called transition. And we have links for all of those stages of labor, or phases of labor, down below as well. So as our uterus is contracting, the role of the contraction of this uterine muscle is to pull open the cervix and to thin it out. So in order to dilate, you usually need to have some significant contractions. Now, it can be possible that you go to your provider and maybe they do a vaginal exam in the office and they say, oh, you're already a fingertip dilated, 1 centimeter dilated, 2 centimeters dilated. Sometimes that happens before labor starts. But just know that it's not necessarily a prediction that labor is going to continue immediately or anytime soon. So if your dilation is checked, say at your 39-week appointment at your care provider's office, and they say, oh, you're a centimeter dilated and you're 80% effaced, you probably will go into labor soon. That's not necessarily true. And most providers don't make any predictions like that, because it could be still a lot more time, or it could be when you leave the office. It really tells you not much about predicting when your labor is really going to kick in. The other side is also true, that if you had a vaginal exam, they check your cervix and you're 0 centimeters dilated, it doesn't mean that you're still going to have tons of time. That people have gone into labor within hours of being checked at 0 centimeters dilated. So when we get a cervical check and they tell us dilation, it gives us a little information about where we are as far as which of those phases of labor we're in, and it tells us how far we've gone, but doesn't necessarily tell us how much longer it's going to be until we reach fully, completely dilated. So take that information with a grain of salt. I like to say to childbirth ed and doula students that there's lots of factors that go into preparing your body for that pushing phase, and it's not just all related to dilation. We also have that effacement, the station of the baby dropping down. So it's information to know, but not information necessarily that tells you every single thing about how things are going to go, how long it's going to be, or what's next. So let me know if you have questions about dilation. Put them down below in the comments. I really love to hear either your stories or your questions in the comments, and I'll put the links to all the other videos that are related to dilation down there too. Also down in the description, don't forget to look at that, is a link to our free course where we compiled all of the previous spins, organized them into a free course. It's called Birth A to Z, and I'd love for you to jump in there if you want to go straight to the information you're looking for and find the videos in an organized manner. So hit that like button if you like the video. If you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you will be alerted when I have another spin loaded. And thanks for hanging out with me today. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.